Hey, what's up? I'm Mr. J with SciOnTheFly. If I gave you a Coke and a can of Diet Coke and I asked you to place them in a tub of water, what do you think would happen? Do you think both would float? Both would sink? One would float, one would sink. If so, which one and why? Stay tuned to this episode to find out what happens. Alright, here we go. Like I said, I've got a can of Coke, a can of Diet Coke. I'm just going to place them in the water. It's important if you do this at home to make sure that you do this on the side. There's a little area right here where air can get trapped. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the can of Coke in first, on its side, into the water. And we will see that the can of Coke sinks. I'm going to do the exact same thing with the can of Diet Coke, and let's see what happens. Alright, looks like the can of Diet Coke is floating. Why? Why does the can of Diet Coke float while the can of Coke sinks? It has everything to do with two vocabulary words. Those words are buoyancy and density. Buoyancy is basically the ability for something to float. Density has to do with the amount of compactness of matter in an object. Basically, the amount of mass in the matter per unit of volume determines the density. Obviously, we see here that the Coke is more dense than the Diet Coke, therefore it is less buoyant and it's sinking. The can of Diet Coke is less dense, making it more buoyant, meaning that it's floating. So why is it more dense? There we got to look at what we're looking at. I see two cans the exact same size. If I look at the amount of liquid in each size, they both say that there's 12 fluid ounces. So the only difference between these two cans actually is the ingredients. Safe to assume that the big difference between these two is sugar. There is a lot more sugar crammed into this 12-ounce can of Coke than there is this 12-ounce can of Diet Coke. Therefore, because there's more compacted into the exact same amount of space, it makes it more dense, meaning that it is less buoyant. Therefore, the can of Coke sinks while the Diet Coke floats. Next question. What comes to mind? I wonder if the same thing will happen with Mountain Dew versus Diet Mountain Dew. Dr. Pepper versus Diet Dr. Pepper. That's up to you to find out. If you like what you saw in this episode, check out my other links, and we'll see you soon. SciOnTheFly, the place where science makes sense.